Check. All right, we should be good. All right, great. Yeah, we're good. We're now we're on pump. Sorry about that. I had to get it right. I had to get it right. Now let's let the people know. Now we're live everywhere, including Pump Fun. Let me get this shit around and switch the view up. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. All right, so I'm, I said I'm gonna restart the stream so I can make sure the Pump Fun family can tune in and that you guys would tap back in. I'm gonna pin it. So I'm gonna hope you guys hop back in. Oh, I gotta go to Facebook. My hometown family watches this from Facebook. Live. One sec, chat. Set up live video. Oh, it's still counting as live. Your persistent stream keeps being used by another live video. When we sign out this new broadcast. Oh, great. All right, we're still live over there. Perfecto. Perfecto. Let's switch up the view. All right, let's see. Yeah, so they're still doing it. So what I was saying was that the United States does GPS jamming exercises, especially if you look at all of these planes in the affected area, and this is only for ClaudeWar. I mean, you want to verify it, you can go to ClaudeWar.substack.com. There's so much technology that didn't exist that I created. I give 10 examples of them on the ClaudeWar Substack. These are proprietary technologies implemented. One of them is this. And so if you go to GPS Jam, like this was like the best that was available for average everyday people before ClaudeWar. And look at the date on that. That's May 11th. What's today? Today's May 12th. Okay, let me just go to May 12th. Oh, I can't because it's not in real time. That's disappointing. No, it's not. ClaudeWar.info exists. This is real time. Who else does it in real time? Companies that aren't public and they work with the military and defense. How did I figure it out? I'm resourceful and I did a lot of research and used AI to help me create the code. It is sound, and I believe it is one of the. Um, yep, I'll put this in the chat. So this is, you can run it through Grok. We'll do it right now. I had to restart ClaudeWar stream so it shows fun. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess never. Boom, tune in. All right, back to what I was saying. So this is technology that doesn't exist anywhere else. Where's that Talon one? That's a C30J. So all of these, I mean, it's just clear. I haven't asked the AI, but just if you look, I know because the more high value the aircraft, the larger the purple aircraft symbol is, right? And so these are Talons, T-38 Talons. And I got a good buddy of mine that's named Talon. And I've never seen these on there. Like that's what I'm saying. The United States is really doing like a cross country training. It's not, you see, there's even less than when the stream first started, right? But they're also doing training exercises. See, I don't know what this is. This area is often has GPS jamming, so I'm not sure. I'll independently research that. But I know this down here is active training by the U.S. military, and you could bet there are planes that don't have their transponders on that are also, navigating this. It's a training exercise. They don't need anybody to crash, but they also need pilots to prepare, right? Um, and know how to navigate this with their transponders off, and all of that good stuff. And so this is again a T30, T38 Talon supersonic trainer. I didn't realize it said trainer, but there you go. So this is just stuff I'm learning as I'm building this company, this platform. Um, if you want to know, like, where it's like second nature, this stuff, spend time on it. Spend time on it. Upgrade your account to the AI operative, so you can pull up the Ask AI and really learn. And again, so it's all pulling from this database. And again, so that T30, where's it at? T38 Talon. That's the name of a good friend of mine, and it's cool to see that because I've never seen the United States military pull this one out. And I'm gonna clip that really quick. Oh, of course, it's not gonna let me clip. They must have changed it. I used to could clip. That's why I asked you guys, help me clip. Take clips for me. Help me out. But no worries. All good. Moving on to the markets. So markets.claudewar.info. What are we doing there? So this is a part of Operation Full Send. This is part of Operation Full Send. Nobody else does this. The ClaudeWar AI agent, you're gonna want to listen to this, and I'm gonna want to try to get like people in to say you want to listen to the next 10 minutes of this. ClaudeWar holdings will be required for this. So ClaudeWar holdings will be required along with AI operative slash access. And then we'll come over here and pull the CA. And so this is, just to preface it, it's a part of an initiative called Operation Full Send. Okay. So Operation Full Send, what is it? Well, currently ClaudeWar has 22,277 unique users. The ClaudeWar token, oh great, has 201. Well, when Operation Full Send first started, there was only 145 holders. And so that's a good sign. But the purpose of Operation Full Send is to close the gap between the 22,000 plus unique users across 108 countries, the 201 holders of the ClaudeWar utility token, and I am ashamed to admit, maybe it's me, maybe it's just more time needed, whatever. I'm not discouraged. There's only 12 paying AI operatives. Now, AI operative, you know, after I say something like there's companies that see value in the API for ClaudeWar, which is on this page too, claudewar.info/access, to even parallel it to a $100 million software, right? It can be easy to think that $9 is nothing, or that I don't need it, or that bigger money's on. No, 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 no. You couldn't be farther from the truth. Reality is, the reason I cater to retail is it's out of survival. It's for survival because I am unvetted. I have no history in the military, and I am working on getting more certifications. Now, ClaudeWar has been accepted into DIU.mil. That is extraordinary. That's the Defensive Innovation Unit. It's an arm of the Department of Defense, the United States Military Armed Forces. It's how they get innovative technology to warfighters in an efficient manner. To be accepted in that is just, I mean, it's, again, unbelievable. It's incredible. But large contracts for this tier that I cater to, enterprise, it takes time. It's just no way around it. It takes time, right? And then they look and they see these things and they're like, okay, what we see, others see, right? It's always good to have consensus, even if you're a $1 billion company. However, they have bureaucracy, they have red tape. In the meantime, ClaudeWar needs cash flow to exist, to cover overhead, to grow, to scale, to implement new technology, right? So I can focus on this full time. Right now, we're all right. We could be better. And all it takes is if you appreciate this technology, if you are willing to put in the effort to use it to enrich your life or your company's life, is more than capable of doing so. To get information like this, well, first of all, you're not going to get it anywhere else. There's nowhere else you, as a non-government entity or, not a leader of a country, not a military with a security clearance or active one. A lot of you guys I've met who are, retired, former military. Much respect to you guys. Thank you for your service. You know what I'm saying is true. So, not only do you get benefits that a lot of the top defense companies in the world do not currently have, you also support me and my mission to not only, feed my family, but seriously help me get the patents that I need. You help me get the certifications that I need. Some enterprise companies that have approached me, they're, have shown interest that, like, you don't have this certification, you need it to work with us, we'll handle it. They're very expensive. Um, I'm grateful for that. But, like, just how I am, I would prefer to generate enough revenue or keep trying until I figure out what it is that the masses want and will pay for until I generate enough revenue, and then ClaudeWar LLC will cover it. If like if there's a period and like there's that enterprise and company they really want API access they really need, what we have, it gets, whatever, and they're willing to cover it, then great. I accept that, but I would prefer to drive value enough. And so that's what Operation Full Send aims to do. And so the most liquid of ClaudeWar's users it's just by nature going to be crypto. Crypto's more liquid than traditional finance. Go sell your stocks. You'll have liquidity, by tomorrow, 5 p.m., right? And I'm not trying to shame anyone. This is just the reality of it. So, Operation Full Send, the main purpose is to close the gap between 22,000 users of this app that I created, ClaudeWar.info. 22,000 users here, right? Oh, cool. The live came up. Nice. But that's not how it was supposed to come up. Did I click view live? Hold on, chat. Sorry. I was definitely on a roll there, but that threw me through a loop. Into the terminal. Okay, sorry. So Operation Full Send, the purpose is to close the gap between the 22,000 people that use this platform. As I turn on all the layers, and you can do this as well. Go to ClaudeWar.info, do it. It's free. Like, this is free. This is the biggest marketing tool that ClaudeWar has. I learned a very valuable lesson when I tried to charge people to access the globe, what the response will be. So instead, I realized and found out by experience the best approach is to provide supporting um, additions. All right, cool. All layers are on. To bridge the gap between the 22,000 people that use this and the only 200 people that use this, or hold this rather, the ClaudeWar utility token, and only 12 people that pay $9 for the AI operative, right? And so you do get hourly digests that come to Telegram or Discord. They look like this. You can see there's been, they come, the convergences happen often. The hourly digests obviously happen hourly. And it's a complete overview of everything that ClaudeWar tracks on the globe. None of this is third party. You're not going to find this anywhere else in regards to, like, this isn't being pulled from ChatGPT, Grok, Google, no other what. This is all pulled from ClaudeWar's database. You get hourly digest and insights into that. I mean, this alone on the screen is more than what Bloomberg gives for 30,000 a year, but it doesn't stop there, right? So again, every layer is there. It gives convergence alerts with analysis and actionable intelligence. Like, what do you do with this information? Well, for $9 a month, we tell you what you could do, what it means. It's not financial advice, it's not advice, it's research. But it's a deeper level of research that isn't presented anywhere else, not even in private military or government defense. So, like, $9, I know it's worth way more than that. Again, I just told you, I know what some terminals offer for 30,000 a year. I know what industry leaders representing the number one companies in America. I know things because I've spoke with people who represent things. And so I can tell you with confidence, you're not finding this anywhere else like it's presented with ClaudeWar.info. That's why companies are throwing around, when they speak with me, they throw around $100 million numbers and this, that, and the third. It's not as a bragging, it's not a flex. It's a signal to me that, like, these are companies I represent. They pay real money. We see value. there's a process. You know, I can't go into much else, but so the $9 helps me continue on. I'm resourceful. I'm going to make it happen. We're going to continue on. But it makes it easier on my life if there's people who actually, and if you don't see value, then don't pay it. I'm not asking for donate. I'm past the point of donations. Um, I can't control it. If you don't donate, if you do donate, hey, it is much appreciated. Don't get it wrong. But I'm just saying, in my mind, this is way past asking for donations. This is at the point where I have everything in place to bring something valuable to you. I just need to figure out what, and I'm going to, right? And so that's why I say, see, this should like add a button to click through. If somebody gets stuck there, that's really annoying. But anyway, so again, I'm past the point of asking for donations. So I'm at the point where I have everything I need to bring value to anybody's life at almost every level because of the vast amount of data set. Now, if maybe you weren't aware the AI operative package existed and there was only $9 and it's self-serve, now at least you know you want to go buy, great. But if you are aware of it and you're like, I get it, you can't get this information anywhere else, it could help me in multiple avenues of my life, but like I'm not really buying it, not really interested. What else you got? Let me know, right? Because that's, you know, that. And also, feedback on what you would pay for, what you do, like that helps me. I'm not asking for handouts. And I'm not too prideful. Like if this needed to like if Claude, and which is not for clarity, but if ClaudeWar was at a point where I was like, I just can't do it anymore financially, I need help, like, I would do that. We're not near that. But we don't want to get anywhere close to that. I don't want to get anywhere close to that. And so that's why I have to bring attention to it. I'm not trying to grift. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to make you feel any type of way. I'm just trying to present you the facts. And that's what the basis of ClaudeWar, that's how it started. You know, it was in the middle of the night. I couldn't get the info I wanted when the United States-Israeli war first began. It was like 3 a.m., so like nobody was going to post till 6, 7 a.m. when like more people were awake, even the independent journalists. I'm like, this isn't going to work. You can't tell me that this many countries are, you know, starting to get involved in the war, but there's going to be dead hours for me on knowing what's going on. I got a family to protect. I can't afford to not know. And so that's really what inspired ClaudeWar. And so, yeah, so if it helps you and it benefits you, then go to ClaudeWar.info/access and support. Either way, this is what's coming next. It's markets.claudewar.info. And to that point that I was saying where I will drive value, it would help with your feedback. Otherwise, I'm just going to use every bit of available analytics, admin, dashboards, things that I have at my disposal to see what all of these tens of thousands of people are most interested in. And I'll figure it out. Your feedback would be great, but also if this brings value to your life, ClaudeWar.info/access, $9. It would your $9 would bring value to a lot of areas of my life, from company, tech, and beyond, right? And so markets.claudewar.info, it's going to require you to have the AI operative membership to use. And so I realized the friction this is causing. But here's the thing, I'm going to be using it to make money. So if everybody says, that's going to give me easy trades and research that's very, very valuable, but I don't like the way they make me pay $9 a month and then hold $100 worth of tokens, I'm not going to use it. Well, guess what? I'm going to use it so much. I'm going to use enough for all of us. I've been building so much useful things. Also, being a full-time trader for 5 or 6 years, I haven't had time to pick my head up to utilize any of it. But the whole time I'm knowing and learning, and just, you know, by building it, I know how it works better than anyone else. So I know how to get the most actionable, profitable information from it. Now I just need to make the tools so it streamlines that process to you guys. That's where we're at with Operation Full Send. So all Web3 tools, there's already Web3 Connect, connect your wallet. You can't use it yet. You can't trade on it yet. It won't be long. But the ClaudeWar AI agent goes through Polymarket. Maybe tomorrow or tonight it'll be Calci too. So I want both of those, Polymarket and Calci. It pulls from their API. It brings it into markets.claudewar.info. On the other end, it pulls from the ClaudeWar APIs. And so those two, the AI takes the ClaudeWar API info to know all 60 layers, and then the AI takes the Polymarket info to know from all of their prediction markets. It uses the ClaudeWar API. It says, okay, ClaudeWar knows all about this and has been logging this for, X amount of months. Polymarkets have these markets and these categories, and they align with this data layer, and this data layer. So we're going to pull them in, and then we're going to use the ClaudeWar API to present signals, not financial advice, make this trade, just educated research built up from, sometimes it's second to second, sometimes it's every 30 seconds, sometimes it's every minute. But the point is, humanity's database is filled with tons of information that Polymarket creates markets for. From solar flares, ClaudeWar predicts solar flares out an hour in advance before anything else publicly available. I can't tell you what's privately available. Hold on, chat. We're about to wrap this up. Give me one sec. Let me grab a drink. So we're about to wrap it up. But so again, Operation Full Send. That's the purpose of bringing value, like real actual value, in the sense that by holding the token and having AI operative access, if you choose to put in the legwork to actually go on to markets.claudewar.info, you do your due diligence, you don't accept it as blind. Here's a signal, take the trade. You know what I mean? You just incorporate it in. But again, it's going to be, nobody's doing this. Nobody's done this. Nobody's doing it. And that's because the people that have the technology to create actionable intelligence like this, they usually have already military acceptance, military background, certifications, large funding. They don't need to cater to retail. That's okay. It's okay that I do, and it's okay that they don't. But there's 8 billion people in this world. I would venture that a lot of them have Wi-Fi. I'd venture a lot of them like to have their lives enriched, and whether it's information flow or money. And I am also saying that your money is just as valuable as Palantir's money or Boeing's money or the United States government's money, just naming names. Your money spends the same as their money and is just as appreciated by ClaudeWar LLC, ClaudeWar community, and specifically myself as any of those companies' money that I may or may not be in touch with. Uh, and again, it's immediate. When you go to claudewar.info/access to get that AI operative, I don't have to jump through hoops and certifications, and there's no delay. You know what I mean? It's cash flow. And that's why I target, because I understood my background, the reality of where I'm coming from, and the industries. If you go to demo, you'll get an idea. There's many industries that I'm entering into. And so a lot of these have a lot of bureaucracy. Some of them not so much, some of them less than others, some of them a lot. So there's going to be time before they can procure my software as a service. I knew that. That's why I wanted to target the retail too. because I don't want to wait around to grow. And so far, things have been working out, and I'm very grateful for it. And I cannot do it without you guys. So thank you. This was the biggest stream we've had so far, and in regards to people tuning in. 22,200 people across 108 countries. I dedicated all of my grandma. She died 3 days into this build. She was very she enjoyed it. It was the best thing she had ever seen me create. It's the best thing a lot of my family ever seen me create. You know, on day 27, it started getting evaluated by private military and defense companies. Around $90 million valuations. They have hundreds of installations across Asia. And that's what the motivation was for me to turn into an LLC. Now it's an LLC, as a registered EIN, it's capable of doing levels of business. Some of those levels of business, as I said earlier, require certifications. I have technology that requires patents, so it can remain mine. I have a team of people in real life that are helping guide me. We are growing, and the community we have outside of my real life by the tens of thousands. One last thing I will show you, then we'll wrap it up, just to give you an idea of the growth. So we're down a little bit today. You know, not every day is going to be only up, but oh, there's some cool new URLs there. That looks like an Iran domain. I'll check into that later. Um, you know, the numbers speak for themselves. We're averaging 1,500 a day. I mean, last week we were out for a week because of Replit. You know, Replit's still trying to screw me and my company over. But despite it, I mean, look at that. You know, we did the first 3 days back after Replit's infrastructure failure and them withholding the money they owe me. We did 3 days back to back to back of all-time high. I'm tactical. I'm resourceful. I won't be bullied. You know, and so just like some countries fight larger countries asymmetrically, I absolutely am versed in asymmetric warfare. I will not be bullied. And despite all of that, we rise, and we will continue to, as long as we keep loving our hearts and our eyes to the sky. I'm telling you, we can't lose. ClaudeWar won't lose. All praises to the Most High, my God, one true and only, and I dedicate all this to my grandma. And I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. You know, I do these. Some weeks are less busier than others. I do them every day. On the weeks where there's a lot of stuff being done, you know, I do them when I can. But don't be mistaken. I can't do this without you. I appreciate you. Let's keep growing. Let's keep spreading the info. If you want to be honest about it, there's always a war raging, whether it's officially declared by Congress or it's peacetime. There's always going to be an information warfare. There's always going to be good versus evil. There's always going to be truth versus lies. You know, you got to pick a side, and when you pick that side, you got to lock into it. And you know, we're not talking about picking up guns here, or doing anything radical. We're talking about just being the best people that we can, better than the people we were yesterday, and doing what's right, doing what's good, doing what's just. All right, love you guys. I will talk to you all soon. Hopefully you're in the ClaudeWar community. If not, get active in there. Peace.